I might not be able to, if it's okay. Well, it's just Dale and I right now, and it is October 2nd. Oh, John's getting on great. Okay, John's trying to get on. All right, I don't know if he can hear yet. Okay, so John, can you hear us? Okay, he's coming on. Hello. Oh, it's Diane. Okay, great.
He always
Great.
tries to do that.
Okay. So is John there? Or is it just you, Diane?
He's not here, but I guess we use the same Zoom account. I'll try to change my name up there.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, this is going to be kind of short and sweet, really, because we've had so many cancellations. And it looks like I'm recording it right now, if that's okay, Diane.
Sure.
But it may not, the recording may not work but we'll just see. Okay, so it looks like Randy and Matt both teach labs now on Wednesdays, so we're going to have to change the day. I kind of wanted to find out what day of the week was a preference for you before I ask them what works. Do you have certain days that you have other commitments?
In the afternoon.
You can just think about it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of
Mary
anything
Catherine,
right off. Most of my
Yes.
stuff happens in the morning.
since we only meet quarterly, you'll be in the January semester before they won't know their lab schedule. I don't know if they know that they'll be teaching labs on Wednesday next spring semester or not.
There you go. There you go. Okay. All right. Well, maybe I'll just keep it on Wednesdays then, because that's could very well be it. Okay.
Well, in another month, we should be able to see the schedules and they should know whether they have lab schedules.
Okay. That's a very good suggestion. Okay. You know, on the, I have been sending an email out. We have not had a response at all from, that David Ford only got on one time. He was interested, but he only got on one time. So I think I should take him off. What do you think?
He is doing our science cafe in January.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna keep him on.
January 13th.
Okay, January 13th.
Yes, and we can talk about that later in your meeting. I need to talk
Okay,
to you about
great.
that.
All right. Well, thank you. Then I'm going to keep him on. Okay. And then I had another one was, I may have already taken, well, Kimberly Hutch from TCQ. She hasn't really been on. What should I do? Should I leave her?
No, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you should leave her on for the rest of the year and then take her off for next year. I mean,
Okay.
it's our last meeting this year, right?
Yeah, this is our last meeting. I guess I'll ask her what she wants to do.
Okay.
Okay. All right. The minutes, I'm going to send them. I was looking at them. There's a lot of typos, so I'm going to fix them when I get home. I'm in Virginia Beach right now, and I'll fix them when I get home, and I'll send them back out again. We don't have enough people here anyway to do anything. The TCQ bank balance, this is not really current. It was at, the last figure I had was May, and I'm fixing to do the report for the TCEQ again for the quarter. It always comes after the BTA meeting. That's kind of how I know when it comes due. So I will get the updated bank account statements from Cindy. I'll get those because it'll be about time. Once we have the September's, then I need July, August, and September bank statements.
We have a problem. We have not received an August statement yet, or ever. It didn't make it here. Of course, we haven't received September. I can't log in. I've tried multiple times and I just asked John if he changed the password because I can't get in and he said no. So I
Okay, so
gotta,
let me tell you what happens at Education First. If you try
it's
more
not
than
there. It's at Citizens.
Citizens, it's at Citizens. Well, it may be you might have to call. It may have been blocked because there were too many attempts. So you just
Well,
might
it's
have
the
to,
first time. I mean, the first time I tried to log in, it didn't work.
um,
And I'm the one that set the username and password. And I remember specifically doing it. I have it down. And
so
John
on,
was on the phone with me and he said
okay,
he had not changed.
on Citizens, before you get started, at the very top right, there's two little things. There's like personal and like business, and you
Mhm.
make sure you're on the business account.
I did.
Okay.
I'll
Well,
try later again, but I'm scared I'm going to get kicked out because I've tried so many times.
well, if it's three in a row, you get kicked out. But if there's some space in between,
Yeah.
you're okay. But they have every once in a while the system goes down if there's bad weather, and it
Mhm.
could have been the system wasn't. That might be the problem. It might work now. So anyway, we need to get the statements, and if they don't mail it, at least get it.
I'm trying. I'm trying. I
Okay,
do
we
have
still have
July.
time. Yeah, we still have time. I mean, we still have time on that. Okay, so I'll do the reports like I do, and then I put it on SharePoint. Okay, our open projects. This is so frustrating. The leeches, she was all interested, but she hasn't done anything. So we need to find out. Again, I did send an email. I don't know if we need to do another certified letter. I
Oh,
just
isn't that the same lady we already sent a certified letter to?
Yes. And
Oh
she
my
was all
God.
eager, about coming and doing research, and
Yeah.
nothing happened this summer. So, and I have, since I spoke with you guys, I have emailed. So I'll try again, but it's kind of frustrating. And LaRoche with the tiger beetles did wonderful work, and he received his PhD, but now he's off doing a fellowship. And I had one email correspondence from him, but we may have to do a certified letter to their grant department to get the
Yeah.
ball going on that one. Because truthfully, he has not shared anything with us. He shared with the Big Thicket, but he has to give us a copy of the info, and it's not the Big Thicket Preserve's responsibility to share anything with us.
Right.
We don't want to bug them and make more work.
No.
No, he needs to all he has to do is give us a copy.
Didn't
So,
we give him the grant?
and then we can, and well, there's other things he has to do. He has to give receipts, and he has to give the work schedule. I mean, in the final report, he has things to do before he gets the last payment. And the bees, we still owe them 1570, but I'm going to ask if they want to do another. We have money for new projects, and he is such a good researcher. That 1570 was transportation money he didn't use. So, but he was thorough and fast and really good. So, Dr. Bennett. So, and maybe David Ford might be interested in something. I don't know, but we need to get some new projects. That's a priority. Education outreach, the Science Cafe was great with Doug Huggins. And tell us about the next Science Cafe with David Ford is what date?
It's January 13th. And we are debating finding another venue. The people come in, they're sitting at the bar, they're not part of it, and they're talking, and it's distracting. Then they had that music playing in that back room. And so, you and I were probably sitting in that front part close to the speaker, but the people that were in that big room, that's, kind of across from us by the bar, they could hear the music playing in that back room, and they asked the guy that runs the booth to please turn that music down or off, and he said, I can't control what they do back there. And that was, people couldn't hear everything because there was
I'll
loud
have to,
music playing. Yeah.
that
So
They had too much book. They had something else booked. That was another organization that
Was it?
was a movie filming group, some kind of movie filming group.
Oh, well, I don't know,
And
but it's distracting.
that's
So-
too bad. Well, we could explore other areas. That's too
You know,
bad.
One thought is I'm not crazy about the restaurant, but Sierra Club meets at Cafe Del Rio, I think it is, where the old it's next to the old Red Lobster. And they have a back room and people can eat, but you have a private room. And I guess Sierra Club brings in their own screen and projector and all that, but it's a private room. You can order food, you can order drinks, and then you don't have all this noise going on. So that's one place, that we could research. I don't think it
Mhm.
costs them anything because people eat and buy drinks and stuff. And then I'll look into some other places, but that's just
Yeah.
one thought where we could have
Yeah.
a private room.
The issue is, screen setup, microphone. That's some of the issues.
Now, Sierra Club has all that, but they're probably bringing in their own equipment. And if we
Yeah.
have to get our own equipment, we can do that.
Right. Right.
It
Well,
just
that's
ain't a
too
private
bad that
room.
that didn't work. I'm disappointed. I didn't know that, but I know it's when the bee people really enjoy staying because they have the meeting before us, the bee
Right.
people, and that works for them. I guess one question we could ask is for them not to book someone else after us, that it was
But
distracting.
you still got bar patrons and they're sitting at the bar and they talk throughout our science cafe because they're not part of it. And I don't expect them to be quiet but it's
Okay.
still distracting while they're talking is the problem.
Okay. Okay. Well, we'll just have to. Dale, any thoughts, Dale?
No, I see both sides of that, and the log on has been traditionally where we've always met, but like Diane says, the bar patrons don't care. They're in there to drink and talk. And
And I
Sierra,
can't blame them.
the Sierra Club has been meeting at the Cafe Del Rio, and they bring their own equipment in, and it's worked out pretty well. Clean Air and Water meets in that front room. They're accommodating for us on that, so I would say check into the Cafe Del Rio.
Okay.
But
All right.
Dale, do you think Cafe Del Rio has enough seating for everybody? Because sometimes we pack out the log on.
I haven't made a count, but we've never filled it completely up. I don't know that we've had that many people that,
I'll go
They-
by and count
yeah.
how much seating they actually have in that back room.
They can usually bring in more tables if it's gonna get crowded. But
Okay,
you've got, I think, 6, 8, 10 booths in there, plus all the tables. So there's usually some booths that are not occupied and some tables that are not.
okay. Okay, so
Okay.
that's ability. So we're looking at
You could
January,
go, Diane,
what?
next Tuesday is a, Sierra Club meeting. You could go to that and just check it out and see.
Let me see if hold on, let me look at, I'm sorry to stop talking about what we're really. Let me get to October and see if I can go to that. Possibly. I'm supposed to be at my nephew's football game, but I need to go see.
Yeah.
Wait, why didn't they meet October 1st on the first Tuesday?
Well, if they did, I missed it. I don't know.
I think they did. I'm gonna look it up. Okay,
Well, that's right. They did meet last night or
Okay,
Tuesday, because we had a football game.
yeah, I got one too, next Tuesday.
Okay.
Okay, so I can go by, that's no problem. I'm fine with that. So I gotta do that, and then let me tell you about April Science Cafe. We're working with Armand Bayou, Executive Director. He did a presentation recently for TCA on snakes, which would be a great time to do it in April before the snakes come out, or when they're coming out, So we're talking about snakes possibly in April from Armin Bayou's executive director. And then we're still looking at the next one after that would be July. And I did reach out to the lady that you emailed me about, Dale. She spoke, it's Big Thicket Apothecary. Is that right? And she talked about plants that the Alabama Coshada use out of the Big Thicket. So that sounded really interesting also. So that could be,
It was interesting speaker.
yeah, so that could be, and I did email her. She never responded yet, but I'm going to put her in July. So we can do snakes in April because, you know, that's the time when snakes will be coming out. So it'd be good to have the snake thing in April. So if that lady could do it in July, that gives us 3/4 of science cafes. We only have one left to book, and then we're done for that year.
So David Ford, did he tell you a theme? Was it mussels or what?
It is mussels. And let me read you what his email said real quick. Because he said, tell me the knowledge level of people that are going to attend. And I said, well, it's going to be a mixed bag because, let's see. He said, I said, there's going to be people who do know about mussels, and then there's going to be people that this is new information. So he said, I'll make sure to put together a talk that both old mussel hats and new people getting into it can enjoy. So
Yeah, because you know, you'll have like Randy Yoder and Matt Pye. I mean, you have some pretty
yeah, so he's gonna,
knowledgeable
you know, I
folks.
told him you could have some people who really know about mussels, and then, you know, you're gonna have people who don't know anything about mussels but are
Mhm.
interested in learning, and that's what we want to do is educate people.
Okay. Okay, cool.
So that's where
Well,
we are on all that.
Thank you, Diane. Thank you,
Sure.
thank you, thank you.
Sure.
So the bulletin, oh, look, Randy's getting on. I can't believe it. Okay. All right. Speaking of the devil.
Mhm.
Okay. So welcome, Randy. I'm glad you're getting on. We were just talking about science cafes, and I don't know if he can hear yet. I clicked that he's
I'm
getting
in, but I
on.
can't know if my camera's working. Can y'all hear me? Oh, there's
Yeah, we hear you
yeah.
fine. We
Yeah.
hear you fine.
Sorry to
So
come
we
in
were,
late. I
oh,
had
there
an
you
ad,
are.
but it got out a little early, so I was able to join
Okay,
late.
nice, nice. Well, we were thinking about changing the date, but then Dale mentioned you might not know your lab schedule in 25.
I know what it's supposed to be next semester, but that doesn't mean it won't change between now and then.
Right, right. So we'll keep it kind of as is on Wednesday, I guess. So basically we have funds available for new projects, and Diane's been working on getting some science cafes. The next one's January 13th on mussels. And then she has some others that are potential April snakes. The bulletin, I think it just looks really nice. Phoebe does a great job collecting all the information. We usually have something TOD related, so that's been good. The grant, I haven't heard any news. Have you heard any news on either of the grants, Diane?
Entergy
Entergy?
is a no-go. I knew when they gave it their awards out to people because I saw the prize posse going on social media. So I knew I didn't get it. And they just emailed this week that said I did not receive that grant.
Okay, all right. Well, I haven't heard yet, but I'll look and see.
Yeah, it's been like a month ago that they went and passed out checks. So
okay, all right. Well, that's too bad. That's a lot of work. Oh well. Okay, so last year I was involved with a Fear to Hope, and that started from the cypress tree researcher Beth Middleton, who referred me to Dr. Rob Davidson at Christopher Newport University, and I had four groups that did research on salinity and cedar trees. And so Jenny Knapp has helped recruit two, and it looks like all four groups want to continue for the second year. And we have three new groups, it looks like. So we'll have, right now, it looks like we have 7 that going to work on this project, and it's geared to middle school through high school. Well, it could be community college, but the groups we have are middle through high school. So anyway, it was a interesting. And then
I
it
have a
was,
question.
yes, sir.
Wasn't Beth Middleton also working on a salinity and cypress trees some years ago?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did
She's
that project ever terminate or complete?
she is out of Louisiana, that natural resource division. I don't know if it's USDA, but her project it continues, and she doesn't really give us the information. She submits it all to the Park Service. So
I'm just curious whether or not they ever used any of the salinity data from LNVA. You know, the saltwater barrier collects salinity data on the Nature's River, and that my understanding was that they were working the Trinity, but I don't know that there's any saltwater barriers in the Trinity.
okay, I don't know that question. Okay, so
But there's years of salt intrusion data available from LNVA that I would think would correlate to what she has done in the field.
I don't know. I know she basically would come here and research the trees almost annually. She would come with a group. So I don't know if she has particular sections. I'm not really sure how she does it, but I know her work is ongoing. And some of that LNVA research, we saw some of that. Dr. Rob Atkinson shared, well, when we did review of the literature, I saw some of that. It's pretty interesting. So, I mean, I was learning myself as I got into this project, which when you do research, you learn too. So, anyway, I'll do a little, searching myself on that. And, because I do share information with the groups that are working on this project. I do share background information to kind of help basically what I'm trying to do is help the teachers so they don't have to do quite so much work. They're given all the tools, they're given the everything they need to do, the pots, the seedlings, the caliper. They're going to do something different this year, use a Perry bar, because there was a problem with consistency in the measurements. And so the Perry bar will be a new thing, but it's basically just getting the kids hands-on experience with measuring salinity levels so that they learn about what it's all about. So anyway, the news is we have 7 groups and we're going to continue, and enthusiasm is high. We didn't lose anybody from last year, so that's good. So I'm moving on to the data management, the member manual, and I'm sorry, the tax tally is not good quality there. We need to probably fix that. And I know at least the member manual is now posted on the website, so that's good. There probably are still a few things that need to be updated on it, but at least new members can look at it and see the manual. But I'll try and get a better quality tax tally to you, Diane, or to John, and copy John. Okay, and then I already talked to Dale about the PC. We can put access on it. And I still haven't written, I left that letter to Gulf States Monitoring that they gave a presentation at the Science Symposium. And I want to communicate with, I did talk to them, but I want to communicate with them. So I have that on the agenda because it's kind of something I still want to do. On the Big Thicket Field Research Station, I looked and it looks like we had American Youth Works were there quite a bit doing volunteer work, a long time. I missed the board meeting. That was our 50th wedding anniversary. I guess that went okay yeah, it was wonderful. The board meeting at the FRS went okay.
Yes, it did.
Okay. I hated to miss it. I hated to miss it, but we were partying. Sorry. Okay. Anyway, Texas State University is coming a few times to do muscle surveys. And Texas A&M College Station is going to study fish assemblage on Village Creek. So it's getting used, and that's good. Do you have any comments on cleaning or any needs, Diane?
No, there was an issue with the back door at the Bramer house not latching the last time I was out there. And they said they checked it and everything was okay. But I mean, the door was wide open. So they said it's okay. And these people from Texas State have been staying there, and they're coming back October 4th, just in a couple of days. And they're staying, I think 2 nights this time. They asked it for an extension to stay a little bit longer, I guess, instead of 1 night. So everything is okay there. I was going to tell you something else about it though. Ugh.
I still would like to get that little table and chairs for the porch.
Oh yeah, I forgot
Front
about
porch.
that.
I still would like that.
I don't know.
But
It'd have to stay inside the house because it'll get taken in a hot minute out there. It won't be there when you get back. It'd have to be
Okay.
something that can go into the house when we're not, no one's there.
Okay. Well, maybe a little folding something.
Yeah, something like that. Oh, I know I was going to tell you. Okay, so we hadn't had researchers stay at the FRS in a long time, and when I was at the science symposium at the park a while back, Dr. Veach was in, the archaeologist, and I was talking to Dr. Veach because he always enjoyed staying at the FRS, but I'm like, Dr. Veach is here, but he's not staying at the FRS. So I said, hey, where are you staying? And he goes, oh, they got me bunked up here, because, the park has a lot of places they can put people. And so I started thinking, are they starting to house people at the researchers at the park and just skipping the whole research station? So I was with Megan Urban, so I flat out asked, I said, are y'all housing researchers now there? Because we haven't had any researchers in a long time. And she said, no, they're not. I said, well, Dr. Veach was there. And she goes, oh, well, he was just, that time or whatever. I don't know. He comes all the time. So I don't know what's going on. But she said no.
Okay.
But I
Okay.
said, well, we hadn't had anybody.
You know
research.
what? That might be a good bulletin press release to
Yeah.
talk about the FRS. So, we may need to cultivate, we may need to send out an email to the researchers to tell them we have funds available and the FRS is available. Just a reminder.
Right.
Send, info to researchers on funds available for research and the FRS for housing.
And Andrew could really be helping us a lot with that. And Whitney,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. I had a very interesting, let me see, where am I? I think I can go ahead and put it in. Oh, no, it's on the agenda. Okay, so we're not going to do the wish list. I still want that little table, little tiny patio table for the front porch and chair.
okay.
New business. We're not going to change the meeting date at this point. TCQ, I haven't heard anything from them. I know they had this, what is it? The sun, what do they call it? The
Sunset Commission.
Yeah, they went through that, and I guess they're probably waiting too to see what happens with that. And I did tune in when they did their presentation. It was real interesting. They did have a map that showed all of the different projects that they funded across the state, and our area is funded pretty heavily, but it's mostly water. So we're the wettest. I mean, it kind of makes sense that the water, but it was an interesting presentation, and she knew I was on, and I complimented her afterwards. And so anyway, keep our fingers crossed that they get their funding. They should. They really didn't. Pardon me, Dale?
So we just went through a sunset commission. It's kind of like an internal inspector general or audit. And it's very seldom that they terminate a program, especially on the order of TCEQ.
Mm-hmm.
They make recommendations on what you need to work on the next 10 years.
It sounded like the board was not very amenable to making big changes. They kind of like didn't want to rock the boat because she was trying to get some other project money for going another direction. So anyway, that was one of the folks' comments to her. That's what I picked up, that they didn't quite want to rock the boat. But anyway, so hopefully we'll hear from them and get our update on the contract. Okay, so the next thing on the agenda was a request from Harvard for fern research. So right when Hurricane Beryl was coming through, I received an email on the TOD account from Harvard, and I have her name on one of these papers in front of me, but anyway, she couldn't get a hold of Andrew, and I thought, well, maybe it was because of the hurricane and maybe power was down because everything was a mess. And so she tried again a couple of weeks ago, and I gave her Andrew. She actually had a wrong email for Andrew. And so she was really nice. And I told her that we had funds for new research. So maybe we'll hear from her. But anyway, I did help her out on trying to communicate with Andrew, because sometimes I think he's hard to get a hold of. And we have money for new projects. So that's kind of everything that's going on in a nutshell. Randy, you have any comments?
Oh, I just wanted to, you said at the beginning, when I first came in about Science Cafe, what was the date on the next one?
January 13th.
And who's doing it's Muscles? Is it the people from Texas State that are going to talk, or?
No, it's David Ford.
Oh yeah. Okay. David.
Yes.
He is
that
this
Bob
is the
Ford's son?
son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the son, David
Yeah.
Ford, the son.
Well,
And
I heard when Bob
we
he
need
gave a
to-
presentation there several years ago. His dad did. in
his dad
Science
did.
Cafe.
Yeah.
Randy,
this-
we need you there asking the hard questions.
Okay, I'll be there. I try to always come to Science Cafe.
All right.
I try not to heckle them too bad though.
Yeah. He was talking, the talk is we may change the venue site. They had a few issues with some music in the background. So there's some that may be explored. We don't know yet. We'll see. Diane's going to be checking out some options. Okay, that's it. Again, Randy, if you want, we've got funds available. So if you and Matt, want to get anything moving, we've got money.
Okay.
And I think that's about all. I did see it was just a Newsweek article that just came out yesterday. 12 species designated as state symbols at risk of extinction. I mean, what we do is so valuable. I mean, this is 2/3 of state flowers and 1/2 of all state insects are expected to see substantial decrease due to changes in temperature and rainfall. So anyway, I thank you guys for working on what you do, and it's so important. And, if I can help you in any way, let me know. And y'all are a great team. So that's all.
Oh,
Have a
hey,
good trip with your family.
Oh, do we have a baby picture? Can we hold her?
You have a new
we're
grandbaby?
almost-
got a grandbaby to see?
Yeah. We have to put her pants on. She's almost.
Diane, how was you come to Lamar yesterday or the day before? Did I see
It was yesterday.
How'd that go?
Well,
Make sure that
you can't.
Goodness.
Oh, look
my
at that. I'll tell you in
goodness.
a minute, Randy.
Oh, there's the
look how
baby.
precious.
Oh,
Hi.
You.
How old?
5 weeks. 5 weeks.
5 weeks.
Oh, and
Precious.
name?
This is Nina Catherine.
Uh-oh, Nina Catherine. Who's she
Nina
named
Catherine.
after?
Okay, mommy.
Nina's
wonder.
not happy.
Oh, give me back to my
Maybe she'll
mom.
grow up to like the Thicket of Diversity Committee better. Anyway, Randy,
Yeah,
you
Nina
know, we're
Catherine.
looking-
So anyway,
looking for volunteers, and you know, there were hardly any students. I bet I talked to 4 students all day.
oh
Were the
shoot,
other organizations were set up too, weren't they? So they
Oh
were all
yeah,
just
we had
standing there talking.
50 organizations in there, and I was talking to some other organizations who come every year. This was the first year I was invited to that, and I thought, great, we need volunteers. This will be great. And I talked to 4 students all day, and I talked to the lady next to me, and she said it's like this every year. Every year they say, oh, it's going to be better next year, and it's the same deal. So, you know, then you walk out of the ballroom and you see in the food court, it's packed. The hallway outside is packed across from the bookstore and all that, because someone's got a table set up and kids are stopping there. There's outside. I mean, they're everywhere but in the room we're in.
Mhm.
ah,
There's just not a
Hmm.
lot of kids looking. I mean, they're busy with college. They're not looking to volunteer right now. I get
Well,
it. I was
are
too
you-
busy.
Are you gonna come along with, are you and Jenny both gonna come to speak in February for the
Oh, yes,
thing?
we'll both come. She'll
Yeah,
probably
well,
be your main speaker, being the scientist that she is.
well, you might get some interest, I hope, from the
Oh,
students.
yeah,
Yeah, because it's an environmental science speaking
that'd be
series, so
great.
we'll try to get you a good crowd, and maybe you can get some student
well,
volunteers.
let me know about that too. I'd like to, I might like to come.
Yeah, I think
Just
it's the third Thursday in February, I think is.
okay. Um, and what about fraternities or sororities? Would you have better luck with them wanting to do service projects? Fraternities or sororities? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean,
Possibly, some
you
of them are
know,
supposed to do it.
they advertise this. There's signs everywhere. These kids walk right by them to go eat and hang out with all these other tables. Hey, I don't blame them. I know when I was in college and I was working full time, there was no time to go volunteer anywhere.
Yeah,
So I get it. I mean, they're busy people.
that's too bad.
I
That's too
know.
bad.
But
Anyway,
it was really neat to be back on campus because it looks so different, because I went there about 40 something years ago. And so it was kind of neat to be back there, because when I started there, I was a biology major, and was going to switch to SFA for my forestry degree. If they had had environmental education, it would have been the perfect degree for me. But anyway, they didn't invent that till later.
Well, folks, I want to thank you for your time, and we'll call it quits, and I'll go love that baby.
Oh, have fun. Thanks,
Have
y'all.
fun with it.
Okay. All
Bye-bye.
right.
Y'all.
Bye-bye.
Adios.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks. Thank you, everybody.